Yo, it's me. Uh, just ahead of time, I have the air conditioner on. That thing is rattling. I don't think it's picking up on the mic too much, but just a heads up, you know. I just wanted to make that clear. You sit here. It's hotter today, but man, I have the air conditioner on. Also, I have the fan on, so should be all right. Also, I was working out and I popped a blood vessel in my eye, so yeah. So now I look like something out of Saw. It comes from working out and also just straining my eyes to look at stuff because I don't have my glasses. But yeah, that actually like progressively got worse. So I was supposed to go out and have a breakfast or something with family, but I said no, I'm not doing that. My eyes are way too crazy. So we ain't doing that. Take to the sky. Also, I gotta get into the habit of not straining my eye while I'm playing too, because it's gonna look worse and worse if I do that. Oops. Accidentally did C5. Arrows. I guess they were, I heard hearing something about the director of Dynasty Warriors saying that like they didn't have any like plans for Dynasty Warriors Origins as far as like DLC and stuff. I guess they were right. They quite literally didn't plan much after the game, I guess. They didn't expect it to be such a breakout success. They played it safe and it actually paid off. And then Warriors Abyss was a success too. Not to mention Ninja God in Black. So Koei's doing pretty well. It's good to hear because that means we get more Warriors games, and I'm never going to be mad about that. Never going to be mad about that. Haven't played Origins yet. I kind of figured without mods I wouldn't much enjoy it. So I think the combat system looks pretty decent, but it's just not as much like depth as like a Sengoku Basara 4 or something like that. So, but visually the game does look nice, and it looks like most people would agree that it's definitely the best Dynasty Warriors game we got in a very long time. I say very long time because think about it, like Dynasty Warriors 8 came out in like 2013. Dynasty Warriors 9 was a failure. So yeah, it definitely has been a long time since we got a good Dynasty Warriors game. People were split on this game. Like they were saying, basically the complaints I was making was shit, which is like there's not much in-game content, stuff like that, or the in-game content is really boring and grindy for this game. Dynasty Warriors 8 complaints were like the affinity system, and also, so the two main complaints I was hearing is the affinity system, the changes to the combat system from vanilla 8 to AXL, and also the very jarring state of the PC version of Dynasty Warriors 8. Like, people were complaining day one about the port. Not much things were fixed about it. I talked about that before, but you can literally see like archives of like people complaining about the PC port when it first came out, and it wasn't even just performance; it was like visually and stuff. But yeah, but I'm actually glad that Origins was as big of a success as it was. So much so that actually people were outside of the community were playing it and enjoyed it as well. That's how you know you're doing something good. Like it may be like for us, it would be like these motherfuckers don't play these games, but it's actually a good thing because there's more eyes on it, and you can introduce people to the franchise, see the ups and downs. It's kind of like people would, people talked about how good Skyrim was at the time, at least, and then now you see a bunch of people saying like, "Oh, Skyrim wasn't even that good," or whatever. But a lot of people got introduced to Elder Scrolls through Skyrim, and then they went back and played Morrowind, and they was like, "Oh, I actually like some of the systems in this game," or they played Oblivion, and they may have liked that game more than Skyrim. So yeah, it's always a good thing when people get newly introduced to stuff. You know? Oops. Get this shit off my screen. Second. Sorry, I was texting a friend. Alright, and my eyes, like, my right eye is completely, not completely, but the bottom part of my right eye is bloodshot as hell, because might have overdid it with the workouts. Popped a blood vessel. Nope. You can sometimes pull off that air muso in the right circumstances, mid juggle. And the Green Lantern aura. Tickle damage. Oops. Whoa, he flew. Now this should kill. Nope. God, that damn is pathetic. My bad. Okay. And he's still not dead. What? I think it was her. Yeah, her unique magic attack is actually not too bad against this. I ain't about to kill that. Not enough hits. not any Muso. It's gonna do Simai's Air Muso. Really good for combos as well. Try not to strain my eyes. I thought I heard somebody call me. Alright, what's the next team we use? Let's use you. Guan Yu. It's been a minute. And you. That'll do. Uh-oh, wait. What weapon do I have on Guan Yu? Jesus! Yeah, nah, that won't do. It'll do too much damage. Especially you, babe. Yeah, ordered my power cord yesterday. It comes in today for my monitor. I had family help me out with to get that, and also it was new fans for my PC because the ones I have are pretty old. It actually came with the case, and they're not really that good, so I want to replace those just to get a little bit more longevity out of this PC. I had it for a while. Later on down the line, I actually do want to save up and basically just get a whole another PC essentially, like a brand new one. Like even a like a new like I would say like $700 one would be better than the one I have. Oop. Manifest my horse. Drink some of this coffee. It's like any money I can save, I'm just saving that towards just eventually being able to get a whole another PC. Oops. Also, not having just in general, not having FreeSync on this TV that I'm using is tragic. You missed Liu Bei? No, never mind. You made up for it. It should kill. Nope, she got a little bit more health left. Hold on. Okay. You know, I thought about it. I'm actually kind of upset that we ensure. I don't know if you guys remember, but when she was first given these weapons in DWA Empires, she had a fucking like tackle attack she could do. She'd like just move around all over the place. It was actually pretty cool. Don't know why they took that away. That was such a cool mechanic. Oops. Oops. Meant the guard cancel that. Uh-oh. She could check out of that? Forgot to zoom the camera out more. Wanted to make it so that, yeah, just a bigger zoom out. So I think the vertical angle is already alright. Maybe it could be a little bit higher. But yeah. Got to really work on my juggles when it comes to these fast teching characters. Fuck that up bad. I thought about it earlier when I was making my coffee. I was like, what happened to Tekken 8? Like, how did the game go from being that hype to people hating it so much? And I know it's from the season 2 patch, but like what? Like that didn't even need to happen the way it did, but like that's actually kind of just tragic. Because how somebody explained it to me, they said that played a lot of Tekken 8. They said basically it was like, oh yeah, all you players that been playing this game for like 20 years or whatever, yeah, fuck you. That was basically like the patch. That's tragic, man. Because people were already said there was like pieces of that within the game already, but just season 2 made it a lot worse. Which again is just sad. You know? We were like saying the last sort of time Tekken was ever Tekken was like Tekken 5 or something. That's when real Tekken died, so it's like Tekken just started changing a lot after a while. Which I think that's kind of disingenuous in a way. Because one can make the argument Tekken actually did improve combat-wise over time, because I mean you don't want to play the same game essentially like every iteration. It's coming from somebody that loves Muso games. Like not every Muso game is exactly the same, and it's dismissive to say it is. The loop may be the same, or maybe aspects of the game may be the same, but it's not necessarily the same game. But yeah, it's kind of sad that the devs did that. What am I being asked to do now? Oh my gosh. I'm being asked to put clothes in the wash for someone. Gotta learn how to work the wash machine themselves. We need a speed character. Let's get out our trusty Sun Xuan. Come on, Lady Luck. You know, it's not really much like gambling mechanics when it comes to this. Oops. I missed. No, I didn't. I knew what I was doing. Never mind. The game crashed. I pogged too hard. But hold on, I'll be back. I gotta do something for somebody. Gotta put clothes in wash. That was weird. I don't know why it crashed like that. I'll be back. Boom. Alright, I'm back. Why the game crashed on me like that? We move. Come on, air conditioner, make it colder in here already. Jesus. Oops. Dog. I mean, how could you not like Pong De? Shoot. That tracking is hard, but you can pull it off. You got the right know-how. Wait, does he have the horse one on this game? Yep. Basic horse, go! This has no directional control whatsoever, dude. One, two, blast. That range. Absurd. Nice damage, but doesn't kill. Alright, let's play some Diablo. And then we will come back to this. We was playing the Merciless mod, which basically is like, what if you gave Diablo, what if you tap more into the hardcore side of Diablo when it comes to build crafting, and the super GG stuff can be crafted outside of the aspects of like uniques and stuff, which I kind of like because it puts the power in the player's hands. Rather than the developer's hands, if that makes sense. I think it makes sense. I probably don't make sense in general usually, but you know. That's just how it be being. That's just how it be being sometimes. Blizzard. Diablo. But yeah, the quality is usually pretty bad. I mean, back when I was at my old house, the streaming quality was a lot better. Stretch. But yeah, I was playing a Throw Barbarian. Throw Barbarians are pretty fun. They are pretty strong too because of that update the last up was it the last update or the update before last? I forgot, but essentially they made it so that uh, throw barbarians get like refund. You could refund javelins and stuff when you throw them. Makes them pretty efficient. I kept seeing stuff like the playthrough with them is pretty annoying because like you can get slowed, and you could get like frozen or something like that, and it makes your throw speed slower. But I don't know. I think playthrough with throw barbarian is, in my opinion, one of the better ways to play outside of maybe like frenzy barbarian. Frenzy is like you're on crack, and you just swing really fast at everything. So let me go back to town. And that's pretty important for just tearing stuff up. Barbarian is not as efficient as other classes in this game. Like, for example, the Sorceress. When it comes to like mob killing speed. Because the way that the game is made, melee is basically the weakest thing in this game. But it's not necessarily like super weak, because once melee characters get the right stuff, they actually catch up and in some cases surpass magic focused classes because of like grief and all that, and all these super strong rune words. In the case of this mod though, super strong like rares and stuff that you can get. Got myself trapped. But yeah, I wanted to try this out, give my thoughts on it. But yeah, this mod definitely not for the faint of heart though. Like if you think it's like basically this mod was, I downloaded this mod because I played Diablo 2 so many times for so many hours, and the game was like basically too easy for me. Because you know how to get through the game super fast. You know the rune words you can make to casualize the game and stuff. And yeah. But also I should like say that just because the game has more difficulty doesn't mean it's good. I think call that the Souls-like mentality. A game could be easy and be fun. A good example of that is Forza Horizon 4. Super easy game, but very fun. Very, very fun. And is not, and you can play it to a point where it's like not. It's actually, it's kind of interesting. Oh, it might be good for my, companion, but it's pretty interesting that people don't talk about with Muso games. They can scratch kind of the niche of like, oh, I'm not necessarily like a super ultra like DMC try hard when it comes to combos and stuff, but I can kind of get my feet wet as far as like getting into combos. Muso games are actually a nice little starting point for that. And then you can really get into the Devil May Cry combo stuff. If you want to go deeper, Nier has that. Bayonetta. But yeah, no, Muso games are like a really good starting point. I say like Dynasty Warriors, at least with Z mod. Dynasty Warriors 8 with Z mod. Dynasty Warriors. Actually, to be honest, Dynasty Warriors 4 and 5 has combo stuff in it, but it's not that deep. Orochi Z. is like, it's kind of like that too. RGZ can get crazy. A lot of it's just that the barrier to like the barrier to entry. What modern Muso games, I guess you would say, like the price. That's always like the headache about those games. But you could always emulate the older ones, like Strike Force is even a nice game for combos. Strike Force is real nice actually. Very slept on game. Oh yeah, but this is what I was talking about with like being slowed down and using throw barbarian. It is it's kind of annoying. Whereas Frenzy Barbarian can kind of bypass that because the attack speed is so fast that you don't really get that much slowed down, attack speed wise. But yeah, this is kind of like the downsides of Throw Barbarian right here. I think I got rid of the guy that had the code aura. Or did I? Yeah, I did. I don't know what I might do. I might just make a Berserk Barbarian. How much XP am I getting from these guys? Not much. Go back and get a companion. My eye is in pain. It's not like in massive pain, it's just like annoying. Let's talk to my friend, and the first thing she asked me was, "Who slapped you?" Huh? Slapped me? What did I even put on this guy? Probably not even, actually probably not anything we know. Snip this. Put that to good use. Cause enemies to flee. Probably not the most effective thing to use, but I have no choice. Let's wear a helm. I don't think I have anything for you. Where? It's not. But yeah, with this mod, you can use gems and stuff to basically transform the quality of items or re-roll stats and all that, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. So all this is new, like these things put into bags. This is basically inventory management mechanics. You could do the same thing with runes, I believe. So it won't take up much space. This was not in the base game of Diablo, which is kind of dumb. Yeah. So yeah, the inventory management in base Diablo 2 is stupid. It's not good at all. The community was asking for, because the game stopped getting updated like I think it was like a year ago. That's when the last patch hit or something like that. Was it a year ago or like many months ago? I don't know. But yeah, the community's asked for the art. You guys made all these new changes. Y'all added like rune wars like flicker and flame and all that stuff to help fire builds and all this other crazy stuff. Y'all added terror zones, which added more in-game. Y'all added sunder and charms to open up more build variety. So it's like, why not add loot filters into the game or add like mechanics like that I just showed you, where you can put rune words into a bag to save space on your inventory, just stuff like that. Not too crazy stuff. And I don't know, devs are like, they said there was a tweet that they tweeted where they said that they were you like basically like you haven't seen nothing yet sort of tweet, because it was the anniversary of Diablo 2. 20 was the 25th anniversary. So I was like, they tweeted that and then nothing came about it. So it's like, okay, I don't know what they have planned, but I mean, people have been basically just playing Diablo 2 with mods now. There's a big one right now, Project Diablo, which is probably the definitive version of Diablo 2 right now. As far as like in-game content, as far as builds, as far as like all this extra stuff you could do to your items to customize them. I believe they even have ways where you can change the color of your armor and all that stuff. So yeah, and mind you, this is on the classic version of Diablo 2, so it's not D2R, it's classic Diablo. So just think about that. Pixelated Diablo 2, Diablo 2 that looks like this, has more in-game content, more variety than D2R. Crazy work. It's from a mod. And yeah, a lot of people have been playing that. Like thousands of people actually been playing that. There's a pretty big size community. Now, the only thing that really turns me off about that is you always have to be online thing. Well, you don't have to, but you need to be online in order to like log on to Project Diablo, which I thought was a little odd. Otherwise, I would be playing that right now. But it's like, what if I don't have an internet connection? Like, what if I wanted to take a laptop out and play it, and I don't have an internet connection or something? I want to be able to play it. It is a great mod, though. Again, it's like one of the best, if not the best, Diablo 2 mod of all time. I gotta stop killing every enemy I run into. It's pointless. There's no need. Not worth the time or XP. With certain enemies. If they're like champions or something like that, then I'll kill them. I'll kill them dead. Let's grab my coffee, you idiot. There's also Median XL, which is Diablo 2. If you made it more like classic, like Path to Exile 1, which we all know can get a little nuts, a little mad at the end game, where it's just like one button and you press one button and you just blow up the whole screen. I don't personally, I'm not into ARPGs like that. That's not kind of like the path they took, no pun intended, with Path of Exile 2. There's like sort of like a synergy system. So there's like a primer and like a detonator sort of like way that they balance the game. So I like that. It encourages players to use different abilities rather than like maybe two. Granted, Diablo 2 is guilty of that. I'm pretty sure the other Diablos afterwards are guilty of that too. Like I remember, was it Furious Charge Barbarian or Hammer? The Hammer Barbarian, where you like charge in, you build up your charges and then you detonate, or you use Hammer of the Ancients to like do a crap ton of damage. I ain't gonna lie, it was fun, but it gets kind of repetitive. And people like the aspects of like Diablo 2 where you sort of have to build up to that. Like you gotta gear for it. You gotta like really build craft to get to that point. Whereas Diablo 3 is like, oh, you found this set, you found this set. Oh, all right, here we go. Like, it just didn't feel, for that amount of power, it didn't feel like deserved. I don't know how to explain it. It feels like you put on somebody, basically like it feels like you put on somebody else's clothes. Like that, you know how you're a kid and you wear somebody else's clothes, like maybe someone you look up to and you just feel super cool. That's what it kind of felt like. Rather than like, oh, I leveled up, I fought these hard-fought battles and stuff, and now I'm to this point. Diablo 3 is really easy to get through. Diablo 3 is like extremely easy to get through. There's barely any challenge in that game, like at all. But I still like Diablo 3, that's the thing. I still love that game. That was my first introduction to Diablo. It was Diablo 3. Frozen Tundra. I want to get back into Torchlight Infinite. I really like that game. Like there's my I mentioned there's like two types of ARPGs I like to play. Is the super fast-paced ones like Torchlight Infinite, and then there's the slower ones like this, Diablo 2. I prefer Diablo 2's approach more, all in all, but I definitely still like my fast-paced ARPGs. I just like them with mechanics that reward skill, like for example, like dodging mechanics. Um, Path of Exile has that. Path of Exile 2, they added that. So there's dodging mechanics. I believe that's also in Grim Dawn. Granted, that was actually patched in. It wasn't part of the initial game, and it actually works for that game. So I like when ARPGs do that. They like bring in like more like skill-based mechanics. Um, and that's pretty cool. I remember hearing about with Path of Exile 2, the game was so difficult at a point that they had to patch the game to make it a little bit more easy because there was just you get to a certain point of the game, there's just bosses just straight up just one-shotting you. So, and that would suck. I thought about that. That would suck for like a hardcore playthrough. Like you're trying to get through the game and you just run to a boss that just flats out one shots you and catches you off guard. That would feel so bad. So I need to find a waypoint. Should be one nearby. If I'm not mistaken. I'll just find one in there. I swear there should be one like nearby. If it's like always just like the same layout essentially. Like down here. Oh, another thing that they changed with this mod, which I thought was a little, I guess I should say a little, I guess you could say overkill, was that they changed mobility skills to like, and they like up the cooldown on them, which I thought was like kind of not necessary. But I get it. The philosophy was to slow the game down a bit. The game is already slow, and you would have to build to that point. I don't know. I thought that was kind of not necessary. Like leap having a long cooldown and stuff. I would have rather like the cooldown be the same, but maybe like the CC mechanics of it was like toned down or something like that. Because I think Leap did get nerfed, just base game, because of its insane short leap, infinite stuns that you could do. And I think the range of that was just toned down, but it was still kind of crazy by the end. And also I wish it was something else that Blizzard kind of stuck with. So there was actually WASD movement in the game, but they passed it out because it was like how broken it was. If I played a mod that added that in that base Diablo, or not base, but like normal Diablo 2 had, and there was a mod that I was playing that added that in, and it actually felt nice. Like it didn't feel bad at all. So I don't know why a multi-billion-dollar company had a hard time implementing that into a game, and then ultimately ended up removing it. That still blows my mind. Diablo 2, again, I played a mod that had it, and Diablo 2 doesn't feel bad with WASD mechanics. So it's just interesting. It can work, but they just didn't pull it off well. The execution was horrible. But yeah, that sucks because I did like it. I was actually gonna main it because what a lot of times with ARPGs is like Diablo, where you move around with the clicks and stuff. You know, you eating up your mouse clicks over time. That adds up. Mice only have a certain amount of clicks before you got to get a new one. And I said that adds up a lot when you're playing RPGs. So also, Diablo 2 does have controller support, and that also feels nice. Menu navigation is nice. Quick casting, all that stuff is nice. So how did they pull that off? A game that originally was a PC game, but couldn't do WASD. I mean, this is interesting. Also, I'm getting a crap ton of screen tearing. I don't know if it can be seen on stream, but my screen tearing is horrible. Yeah, once my stuff comes in though, for my PC, like I got more thermal paste and stuff, and I got new fans again with the help of a help of family. I was able to get that. I'm gonna install that. I'm gonna probably in stream install that and then go live again. I just want to replace these old fans in my computer. They've been around for a while. Particularly the one closest to my GPU is that thing's putting in no work. The RPM is like terrible. I mean, again, this is like base freaking. I know that like the tech heads they'll say like, oh, only like certain cases you should rock the base like fans, but I mean, I was doing with it what was in my budget, but yeah, it's about time I replace those things. It's like any fan after a while. You have a fan running after a while. I mean, it's not going to spin as fast as it used to. Not going to exert as much spin as it once did. Hell. But yeah, here it is. So during the updates for D2R, I don't know if this was an added thing or whatever. No, they did. They changed some of the mastery stuff. Like there's but this mod changed some stuff too, like the masteries and stuff. But there was like a dagger, like mastery and stuff, sword, daggers and stuff was all classed together. So basically, like streamlined everything. But no, this was part of the basic game when they updated it. So like, yeah, you get replenished quantity on critical hits, and then the chance to pierce and all that. So yeah, throw barbarian is actually pretty powerful, like super strong. Once you have the right stuff, you would get ethereal weapons, and then you would basically like throw them. You get replenished quantity, so you basically have unlimited throwing weapons. You would usually have to go to like place like this and then get like prepare to get the stuff back. But yeah, no, throw barb is actually went from being a pretty expensive build to run after a while to being cost efficient, and basically you didn't spend any money on the weapons itself. But I'll be right back. I gotta use the bathroom. Alright, I'm back. I'm trying not to do anything too strenuous because my eye look crazy. Like I mentioned it earlier, but yeah, my eye is like right eye is like bloodshot as fuck. Popped blood vessel, so it looked crazy as hell. Also got a doctor's appointment in a couple of days, so I hope it doesn't look too bad when I go there. I could always get a check while I'm there, but yeah. That's why I didn't go outside too, because it looks crazy. Like I look like a fucking like I'm infected out of a horror movie or something. Like I'm like the last stages of infection. Cause you know how, like some zombie apocalypse movies, they have the characters like eyes turn all like bloody red and stuff. I guess this is a learning lesson. Just when you're going to exercise, don't fucking overdo it. But yeah, no, I'm probably in stream here because I want to wait for the stuff to come in, and then once it comes in, I'm gonna install it. I'm probably just gonna lay down too or something because my eyes just progressively looking crazier. So don't want to also accidentally like strain my eye watch or looking at something on the screen. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time.